Hey there, everybody. Good evening, great evening, happy Friday. Welcome to yet another episode of Friday podcast by One Step Closer League. Um, it's a very rainy Friday for me, at least where I am from. So I hope the weather is great at your end as well. I hope you're all staying home and staying safe. So in the last 2 weeks, we had entrepreneurs coming in talking about their experience, what aspired them, and what made them start the business. Yet again, we have one more entrepreneur, rather I said a young entrepreneur based out of Chennai. I have with me the founder of Bakery of Love, Naveen Kumar here with me. Hi Naveen.
Hello, Vivek. How are you?
I'm doing good. So Naveen, so to talk about Naveen started his a Bakery of Love when he was a student, like Abhinav last week, who started his career when he was a student in college. Like him, Naveen also started his business when he was in very young age. Uh, I will, when I tell the term cake and pastries, we'll all be start rolling our mouth. That is how the experience Naveen also had in his younger age. He thought instead of when I have the passion to eat, why not the passion to make as well? So Naveen is going to here being with us. Today's topic, Naveen is going to tell us a little more intricate detail on how did he arrange funding, how did he talk about infrastructure, because the past few weeks we were focusing on the ideas and the brains behind it. Why did they start? This week we're going to talk about how do they support the business in terms of monetary and infrastructure, and how did pandemic help or did not help them during the business. So Naveen, before we start with the actual questions, why don't you tell a little about your business? What are you doing? What kind of products do you serve for the people?
Basically, I'm specialized in baked goods. So that comes under all pastries and stuff, cookies and everything. And I do small scale of catering as well. I make snacks. So it's and baked goods.
Okay. So moving on to the actual part of the question. So for business, like getting that fund, the term finance or the capital or the funding is what immediate is what important for a business. So for your business, what were your sources? I know for someone who started in a young age, who started in the college, you must have had support from your parents or support from the family or something like that. So what was your source of finance or funding?
Like you said, capital is the prime thing for a business. Since I started when I was doing my schooling, I didn't think much about the funding and all. So I just started with household products and everything. Like you said, the parents were very helpful with funding and all. At that time, I didn't figure out it is proper funding for a business and all. I was just doing it at home with what I had. So I didn't think much about the funding. But later on, after college, when I figured out that this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna continue with. Uh, then I had thought about the funding because I have to expand it. So till then, funding wasn't a big thing for me. But right now, I would say it's very hard to start. But once you pick it up, and I know you will get the source.
Okay. So again, Naveen, when talking about infrastructure, see, when it comes to food and food-related business or baking goods, the ideology is you don't actually need to have a proper kitchen. I mean, in the sense, you don't have to outsource a kitchen or outsource a space. As you told, when you started your product business with household products only, I believe a household kitchen setup is what mainly important. A primary kitchen setup is important. So, my question to you is, when it comes to food and food and beverage business, do you think that home setup is suffice for catering to a little amount of people?
Yes, I think because it's been 3 4 years since I started, like since from college and stuff. Uh, I never faced a problem for infrastructure. What I think is if you have a proper organized kitchen, but you know, because I'm doing very well this with the home setup. So I think everybody can.
Okay, so I'm going to pick up from the term which you told, something called as home setup. So when I talk about home setup, so for me as a person, if I need to quote me or people around me, when I want to order something online, my preference is instead of ordering food from a particular organization or a famous organization, not in terms of monetary aspect, but in terms of liking of the flavor, how safe the food is, how well cooked the food is, like how preservative less or additives less. I usually prefer to home food. So, did you have the added advantage since you're a home baked, home baker or a home prepared food? Did you have the added advantage that you are a home prepared food?
That's one of the most first choice of common people when it comes to home food. They believe that it is healthy, that it is hygienic, and it's wholesome. So that's the common people's thought, and that really supported me. That was a very big advantage.
Okay. So moving on to the next question, the online platform. So when I talk about online platforms, so especially after the pandemic, right? So the people, when they want to buy goods, usually they think, so I'm going to compare a scenario where before pandemic would stand out there and then buy and eat. But these days, the possibility have come lower and lower, and people have gone through internet platform. Now, when you tell a home baker, not every home baker or home cooked prepared person prefers like have an online platform like Swiggy, Zomato, or Uber, or something like that. So, how do you promote your food over online? How do you promote your food internet? What are the sources you do use?
The primary source would be word of mouth. So friends and friends of friends. Since, as you told, the social media platforms has been very, what to say, it's very handy right now. Everybody is using. There is no particular age of people who are using it in a major amount. Everybody are using it. So I think that is more than enough to promote any business, even a big restaurant or a hotel. When they prefer a way of promotion, uh, they are choosing the social media right now. So from my experience and what thought I have when I was starting is the same thing, like you said. Will the social media platform will be sufficient for promotion? But it was a very big shock for me as well. It was really great when it comes to promotion. Social media platforms really does well.
Great. Naveen, this question is going to be a little different because, see, so a businessman like you who has just completed his undergraduate had the passion, had the business clientele, had the, how do I tell this, the handicraft of becoming a baker or a confectioner. So you started the business and you went on, like just finished your undergraduation and then you went on. So when you want to move into business, do you think a post graduation or an extra degree, something like that, is going to make a value in that? The higher degree, pursuit of higher degree is important for this.
In this industry, especially in hospitality, I think it's not necessary because when it comes to such an artistic job like this, the thing that is very important is your skills. So if it's a postgraduate degree or any kind of a course or whatever, any kind of a higher persuasion, I would suggest if it's something helping your skill to improve, it's very important and it's definitely going to help you. Unless it's something like more studious kind of way, I wouldn't suggest because I myself didn't pursue anything because we have a lot of resources right now. I think you can master everything when you have YouTube in your phone. That's it.
That is very true. I completely agree because these days, when we talk about learning a new skill, there is no better teacher than YouTube. To broadcast the live or to learn something new, YouTube is just an amazing platform for everything because it has all the content. So moving on to the next question. So apart from being a home baker or a confectioner, I know that you are also into teaching people about the basics of baking or basics of confectioner. Now my idea is, so I'm judging this on a common statistics. People who wants to start the food business always thinks like, oh, I love to cook, I want to start a business. Right? People who always wanted to start a business like, I love cooking, I love making this. Especially if they make one particular dish, they think that okay, this dish is going to be hit in my the little eatery or little shop in my name. So when people come and learn to you, do they come with the prospect of learning and doing home basic baking, or do they come with the prospect, no, I will also start a business someday? Because as you told, a proper degree is not required in this industry. Only the taste and that handicraft is required. So do people come for learning purposes, or do they come for the sake of, I can also become a baker, or I can also become an artistic chef one day?
Since this online thing and standing on your own thing is very trending right now, people think that they can learn something new, and out of that they can make money or start a business. So that's more of a common mindset people have right now, because we haven't seen such mentality before. Like I'm speaking about our parents' generation, they stick to the 9 to 5 job, and now people think it's more sophisticated to have a own job or a business, and they think it's very cool to do such things. So people approach me with the second option you said, that they wanted to do a business or continue a business by learning something. But sustainability is very important. I think that's the key. So if you can really sustain by giving good products and everything, you can become a business person. But mostly people fail. That's my view.
So, Naveen, when you talk about sustainability, you've been here in the industry in the same business for more than 3 to 4 years. I believe more than 4 years you've been in this one. You started as part time, and
Um,
upon completion, you started as full time. Or am I getting the numbers wrong?
no, I started baking when I was doing my extended.
Okay.
When it turned out into a business is when I completed my stuff. That is when I completed my schooling. I
Okay.
started selling cakes, and so it's become into
Okay.
a business category.
Okay. So, when you talk about making the business, or how do I put it, sustainability, how do you think that you can stay in the business for this long?
Um, Quality, that's the key, I think. If the people really like your products, and they think if it's of a good quality, they'll stick to you. Because I myself wonder, because I didn't start with a business motive. When I was doing my schooling, I just did it just like that, like a hobby, not even a hobby, because I love cakes. I thought if I can make them, I can eat myself. So that was the only motive when I started. And after schooling, when people approached me for cakes for their special occasions, and I thought, okay, let's give it a try over business. And then here I am with almost 5 years, I think, since I started. It's doing really well. So I think if the products are very good, people never leave. I have customers who are like really 5 years old, sticking with me around 5 years. So I think that's the key. If you give good products, they'll be yours forever.
So I'm just going to ask two more questions, Naveen, and then we are going to conclude the session. So my last
Sure.
question is support. So the segment, the major segment, a lot of us forget is, even if we have the proper finance, the quality, the standard, we are very great in the market. The one thing that is required is a moral support from the family or the people you are around with, right? Not the financial partners. I'm talking about the non-financial, emotional partners. So, how great was your support from their side?
Um, to be honest, I had an immense support starting from my parents, which is the primary support that everybody needs. Starting from that, my friends, my siblings, everybody were very, very, very supportive. The main reason is that people approached me and they were really happy about what I am doing. So that really gave them a confidence. So they didn't support me blindly. They saw what was happening around me. So they really want to be a part of it. So this is supported. I never felt like it was something special they are giving me. So it was very immense, and for me it was very common. But when my friends or fellow bakers or the others who are willing to to a startup, when they tell me about their moral support, what kind of support they had when they started, I myself felt very shocked with the support that I got, because for me it was very common that my parents supported, my friends were very supportive. But when others tell me that they really didn't get enough support from their parents and friends, and then I realized that I got a great amount of support. So I think it's very important. It's something very primary when it comes to a business. If you get that, I think everything falls under your roof.
Okay, so I'm just going to sum up with one more question, Naveen. So, to entrepreneurs out there with experience, without experience while studying, what do you wish to tell them? What do they need to keep in mind when they want to start a business? Couple pointers.
The key thing will be believe in yourself. Don't do just because everybody is doing. It's something that should come from within. If you really have something from your heart, I think it will win, definitely. And sustainability, please don't give up. Initially, it will be tough. Everything will be, funding will be tough, customer handling will be tough. And as I said, getting a proper moral support will be tough. Sometimes you'll be in a place where you have to support yourself in every way, in moral way or financial way, everything. But you shouldn't give up. Sustainability and believing in yourself is very important. That's the key, and everything will be on your way after that.
That's a great takeaway, Naveen. Thank you very much for spending your time with us. I believe this 20 minutes would have been a little more an eye opener for all those young entrepreneurs out there. Because whenever someone talks about entrepreneurship, the first thing that comes to everybody's mind is don't wait for some idea to come up to tomorrow. Just start, be that idea today, and then start it today. That is what the motto drives a lot of entrepreneurs, including me as well. So thank you very much for joining with us. Thank you for making our YouTube live come true. Thank you, Naveen.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me. It is so great to give an interview with you.
Thanks, Naveen. So to our viewers out there, thank you very much for watching our session. It's been a great, you are all been great audience. Thank you for spending your Friday evening with us. I'm going to give a little more update on our One Step Closer League. On 19th of July, that's coming Monday, we are releasing our first ever newsletter called as R1 Cent. We'll be keep on updating our updates in the Instagram channel, Incline and Facebook. Please approach over there and connect with us. For any more queries and doubts or any suggestions, please do drop in the comment box. We'll reply to you later. Until then, stay home, stay safe. We'll see you next Friday. Until then, this is Vivek.